Was that it? Welcome, everybody, to this year's in-person Qt conference. I hope you all had a good travel down here. I'm Jesper Petersen from KDAB. I will be bothering you throughout the day, not talking too much. I hope you all had, those of you that did have a good training day yesterday. That's where you're supposed to say, yeah. I'll try again. I hope you all had a good training day yesterday. So today we'll start up here on stage with 2 presentations, and then we'll split in 2 tracks. And just because you are developers, you are kind of the lazy person, at least stereotypical. So we decided to move the other stage 3 floors up. There's going to be a tiny hallway where only one person will fit at a time going up or down. So you need to coordinate that. It's going to be very interesting. For the really lazy ones, there's an elevator, though, that you can take. So that's it. We will have a closing session today in this room at 3:45. We're going to have 5 lightning talks, each 10 minutes long, hopefully very enlightening. So that's where we'll meet all here. After that, there's going to be an hour break, and then the thing that at least I came for, namely the party in the evening. That's going to be 6 o'clock until midnight, and it's going to be thrilling. There's going to be happening something truly magic, but I'm not going to tell you any more about that. There's going to be coffee during the day in the room next door, where we have our sponsors present themselves a bit too, so go in there. In case that you need an exit, there are fire exits in front and in the back and wherever. Well, okay, I got down here by an airplane. For those of you that needs a true exit, we also have Wi-Fi in the building, and the Wi-Fi code is guest-QtDevCon capital Q capital -220. No. We put it up a few places that you'll have to find. It's going to be interesting. I'm not going to tell you what it is. And we need a bit of exercise. So if you all just do the exercise with me here now. Lift up your right hand. Yeah. And down again into your pockets. And you know what to do now. So please do mute. And I brought with me today 4 people: the president of KDAB, the CEO of KDAB, the founder of KDAB, and a good friend of mine. And please welcome all 4 of them in the person of Matthias Dalheimer. Kalle?
Am I on mute?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you're actually here. And Jesper's even here. So,
in 3D.
Thanks for coming. It's great to see actual people, except that the lights are so strong that I can't see any actual people, but I think you are here. It's different to be together. For 2 years, we haven't been able to get together. And I think most of us have attended 1 or more virtual conferences. We've even held virtual conferences ourselves. And while that certainly was better than nothing, it's not the same thing as meeting actual people. Because at least for me, the value of a conference, obviously the talks tend to be interesting, many of them, exciting. Some inspire me to go try something myself after I get back. But most of the value for me from a conference comes to talking to people in the hallways after the presentation. So what did you think about what that guy says? Talk to the speaker himself.
And at the party in the evening.
Party in the evening. Get drunk at somebody else's expense. Fall into the river next door. Being drawn out by the fire brigade. That's the real conference experience that you came here for, isn't it? Well, except maybe for the fire brigade thing. And of course, to see the famous YouTuber.
Now in color.
Until I met him at breakfast this morning, I thought he was an avatar.
Maybe I am. Did you actually try touching me here?
So we think Qt needs a forum, a real live forum, which is why we at KDAB decided to provide this forum for you, for Qt, for the community. I know the word community is overextended in many ways, so take this with a pinch of salt, but you are all Qt developers, I take it. Some of you very seasoned, some of you I've seen for many, many years. Others I haven't seen before, so of all ages. And we decided not to run a hybrid format because my experience is that they don't work very well. I've been in classes that were hybrid, and I was sitting in the classroom, and the presenter or the teacher was mostly busy with getting...
You're breaking up for the camera. Maybe you can just say that again.
Oh, I need to stand here?
Yeah.
I need to stand here? Is that where I should be?
Do not move too far.
Is that where the cross is not? So this is our experience with hybrid conferences. Some will say it's better than nothing, it's better than a purely virtual conference because at least the people in the room get together and can have beer and fall into the canal and all of that afterwards. We came to the conclusion that it disrupts more, and now I'm using the word disruption in a negative way. In my closing talk tomorrow, I will use it in a positive way. And so that's why this will be live on-site only, but you see cameras around. We are recording here because the talks will be recorded, and after all the video processing is done, which will happen in the next couple of weeks, they will be made available, and you as attendees will get priority access to them.
And according to GDPR, you'll all have, before you ask a question, you'll have to fill out a 200-point questionnaire where you sign off that we can actually... No.
That's why they have the strong light, so you can't actually see what's happening. We have quite an intimate atmosphere, which is partly because there are not huge crowds of people here this time, but also because the venue invites to have it like that. This means that there will be much greater opportunity for everybody to actually talk to the speakers, ask questions. There's a lot more room for you guys to interact with the speakers, with the exhibitors, with us running through the hallways. So feel free to stop me, ask me any questions, buy me a beer. Feel free.
That's my line. Now that's...
No. Your line comes now. Feel free to stop Jesper, ask him any questions, buy him a glass of water. And in size, this reminds me very much of the very first Qt Developer Days. So this event has had many names throughout the years. It was called Developer Days in the early days. And I've tried to remember when that actually was, and I couldn't get the actual year. I think it may have been around 2004.
Anybody in here that was at that very first Developer Days besides Kelle? Yeah.
I'm always the oldest in the room. It was in this really crappy hotel in Santa Clara in California. I arrived late because I got stuck in US Customs, not because of something I had done or brought, but because there was a lady in front of me in the line who had, and I'm not making this up, a suitcase full of onions with her, which apparently was not okay to bring into the United States. Why anybody would want to do that escapes me. So anyway, I came late, and there was this long auditorium or main presentation room. It was quite narrow but long, and since I came late, I was sitting all the way in the back, which was right next to the hotel kitchen. So whenever one of the chefs was banging their pots in the kitchen, and which was often, I wouldn't hear anything the speaker said. So I didn't actually hear a lot of the presentations that first day. Then on the second day, I came early to sit far away from the kitchen, and of course, I mean close to the speakers. But still, I was so excited to be there because I could interact with the presenters, ask questions, meet other people that I've only seen online, and I hope we can bring back some of that excitement I had back then. Another excitement I had was that I said already the hotel was pretty crappy. In my hotel room, the wall sockets, they hung out of the wall on the wires, which is especially scary if you need these power adapters to fit into American sockets, and you need to like push them in really heavily. So that kind of excitement you won't find here because this is a rather professional location.
If you're interested, we can throw you in the river at the parties tonight, though.
Yeah, that's the thing with the fire brigade you will remember from a few minutes ago. I would very much like to thank our sponsors who are making this possible. And that's, of course, the Qt company, Felgo, Torodex, Tuxera, and Signal Slot. And my event department tells me I should now ask you to give a hand for our sponsors. Thanks, guys, and we really hope this is worthwhile for you too. Obviously, I also want to thank all the speakers. We have a really great speaker lineup this year, and it's very dense in the way that this is chock full of technical talks. There is very little fluff in the program. Really, the only fluff is me closing tomorrow night. I hope you come anyway, or maybe just because your head is already on fire or smoke coming out of it, and you need some serious but still light relief. And of course, I want to thank my team who's organized this event for many months now. And one last thing before I hand over to the next speaker, I want to give a shout out to the small number of Ukrainian developers who have traditionally attended the Qt Developer Days World Summit or whatever it was called. There have never been many, but there have always been a handful. Today, obviously, they are not here because they are defending their country against an abominable aggression, but I wish they could be here.